Hi everyone! Today we're going to be using a new eyeshadow palette that I actually got sent recently and I was so excited to try it. It's from a brand I've never used before. It's What's Up Beauty and it's their Desert Monsoon palette. This is what it looks like. The colors in here are so pretty. I could not wait to try this out, and this is the look that I created and I am obsessed with it. So if you're interested in this look and just getting ready with me, please keep watching. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I'm so happy you clicked on this video. I post all kinds of makeup content here on my channel. Lots of reviews, get ready with me's, both drugstore and high-end makeup. So if that is the type of video you like to watch, please subscribe. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So for today, I really want to do a colorful eyeshadow look. And the reason, or kind of the inspiration behind this video, is this palette that this brand sent me, which was so nice. It's called What's Up Beauty. I've never heard of it. I think they have an Instagram account. But they sent me this palette. It's called Desert Monsoon, and the colors in it are so pretty. So you have lots of pretty shimmers and some pretty neutral matte colors as well. So I really wanted to play with this and do something different than what you normally see me do. So that's what we're going to do today. They also sent me their eye brushes as well, which was really nice, so I'll use those as well. So I already did my eyebrows. I didn't use anything different, so I figured I would just skip that in this video. And I'm just applying a little bit of my NARS eyeshadow primer before we get started with the eyeshadow. So now let's go in with the palette. And I'm first going to go into this cream shade right here. It's called Dust Storm. They sent me a bunch of brushes, which, something about me, I actually love makeup brushes. Even though I have so many I don't really need anymore, I really love makeup brushes. I can't really resist them. So I get really excited when I try new ones. So I'm just taking this. This is the largest one they've sent me. It's just a large crease brush. And I'm just kind of going over my whole eye with this. That has a little more color than I was thinking it was going to. This brush feels really nice. It's really soft. Okay, I zoomed out a little bit. I felt like I was a little too zoomed in. So now we're going to go into this shade up here called Joshua Tree. It's kind of a cooler toned brown, kind of a taupey brown. And I'm going to use another one of the brushes they sent. This is R103. It's a little eyeshadow crease brush, a little bit smaller. Just kind of packing this on the outer V. Wow, this is a very buttery eyeshadow formula. Okay, that's nice. I like that. This, the shadow has a good bit of kickback in the pan, which really doesn't bother me, but I always like to mention it because I know some people are not a fan of that in eyeshadow palettes. I'm just doing the same thing on this eye. Okay, I'm struggling with what color I want to do with this look. I'm really drawn to these greens right here, but I also am really drawn to the purples. I think I'm gonna go green because I feel like purple is what I would usually do, and I kind of want to do something different today. I'm gonna go into the darker green right here, which is called Cactus. Ooh, let me swatch it for you guys. I love greens, and I feel like not no one, but greens are not a color you see a lot in eyeshadow palettes, I feel like. So that's really pretty metallic green. So I think that's what I'm gonna do first. I typically like this kind of shade with my finger, but I'm gonna try it with a brush first. So I'm going into that cactus shade and another one of the brushes. This is called the R105. And I'm just gonna kind of pack this over where we put the Joshua Tree shade and kind of bring it onto the lid a little bit more. Ooh, that's so pretty. This is a nice brush. It kind of reminds me of the MAC 217. It's that same kind of a more interesting shape. It's kind of a flat crease brush, kind of. It's kind of skinny, hard to explain, but the shape of it really reminds me of that one from MAC. But that color is very, very pretty. I'm gonna go in now with my finger and see what happens if I add a little more with my finger. Okay, so yeah, you get a little more of the green color if you pack it on with your finger, which is, I always find that to be true with most eyeshadows, but ooh, okay, that's so pretty. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this so much. These, so far, the shadows I've used from this palette, these are really nice, you guys. Super, super nice. I'll put the info about this brand and the pricing and everything below in the description box. I'm gonna go back into Joshua Tree, which is that kind of taupey brown. And I'm using the larger crease brush again. And I'm gonna kind of go over the outer corner and kind of go back through the crease or above my crease. I was really excited to use this palette in a video because I've been in a little bit of a creative rut, which it doesn't happen to me that often, but sometimes if you film videos or really do anything creative, you probably know what I mean. It's sometimes you just kind of feel like you want to do things, you want to create things, but you don't really know what. I've kind of been going through a phase like that, but when I got this palette, I instantly wanted to sit down and use it. I think it's all these colors. I don't know. It's just fun. So I'm glad that I got this and they were kind enough to send this to me. Now I'm going to go into this shimmery shade up here in the corner. It's called Glow. And I'm going to use this brush. This is R106. It's kind of a flat shader brush. And I'm going to try to use this shade with the brush, but I will most likely go over it with my finger because that's just what I usually prefer with this kind of shade. But I'm going to put this in the inner portion of my eyelid and kind of round it out into my crease a little bit. That is pretty. I'm gonna try it with my finger. Okay, yeah, your finger is definitely the way to go if you want more pop from the shade. Unless you want something really subdued, then you can definitely use a brush. I always find with shades like this, these metallic shades, that they work really well with your finger, although this brush is doing pretty well at picking it up. Now I'm going to go into this shade. I want to use a lot of the shades, so I'm going to use this dark brown called Canyon, kind of a reddish toned brown, and this I'm going to pack right on the outer corner of my lash line. And I'm using another one of the brushes they sent. This is a tiny little crease brush. Ooh, and it's really good for really small, precise places. This is the R102. I am just packing this on kind of in an angled way. So it kind of wings out the shadow a little bit, kind of like a winged liner. And this shade is super pigmented, like I'm barely tapping in at all here. And you can see how much pigment you get. This is a really good brush to have for something like this. I feel like this is kind of a brush you don't see as often. It's like a very small, skinny, kind of pointed, tapered crease brush. Wow, that blended so well. Oh my gosh. This is a really pretty palette. Okay, one more thing I'm gonna do before I move on to my face. I have to use this color. This color is like screaming at me. It's the other green right here. Right here. It's called Sun. It's a little bit lighter and looks a little more glittery than that green cactus shade. That's more a metallic. So with this, oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. Oh, okay, so for this, I'm gonna put the, oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, I barely touched my finger in that, you guys. That is stunning. Oh. Are you seeing this? I'm just gonna leave this like right in the center, but oh my gosh, you guys. Wow. That's it swatched right there. It's so interesting. It's kind of, it doesn't even, I feel like the swatch doesn't do it justice, but look how pretty that is. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited about this eye look. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my eyes a little bit. There's actually not a whole lot of fallout that I see, but I'm gonna clean up just a little bit and then we'll move on to the face. Okay, let's move on to the face, and I am gonna use primer today. I'm trying to get better about using primer, so I'm gonna use this. This is my mini Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. And I'm gonna put this basically just in my T-zone area, so that's really the only place I ever really feel like I notice pores on my face. It's kind of in the same area on both sides of my nose. Then I'm gonna take just a little bit of my Hollywood Flawless filter. This is the shade number 2. I'm trying to use shade number 2 and start trying to use it up because this is, I have several of these in different shades, but this is my oldest one and I really want to work on using it up. I'm just gonna use a damp sponge and kind of pat this in. For corrector, I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish in shade number 2. I feel like I'm about to hit pan on this corrector too. I have a pretty big dent in it. I'm honestly gonna try to start focusing. I think I mentioned this in one of my last videos, but I kind of want to do a project pan on my channel and really focus a little more on finishing up products. It's because I definitely admit I'm definitely not the best about using up my makeup. I have a lot of it, so I would like to get better at that, and I feel like it'd just be a good way for me to think more closely about the makeup that I buy too. Kind of go through phases with that where I feel like I'm better about thinking about what I buy, and then I kind of get in a rut again, and it's just because I love makeup. I really can't help it. But I really want to focus more on using up things that I have. So I really do think I may do a project pan. I don't know if I'll do it like wait and start in January, or I thought about doing one and starting it like right away and maybe seeing what I could try to pan by the end of this year or something. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are, but I really am thinking I want to do that. For foundation, I, for some reason, really want to mix these two. So this is the Neutrogena Flawless Matte CC Cream and the Neutrogena Hydro Boost. I have never used these two together, but I thought they're very different. This one has a good bit of coverage and it's a pretty matte product. And this one is the opposite. It's very hydrating and very, I would say, a very light medium coverage. So I thought I might mix a little bit of them together and see what happens. So I'm just taking a little bit of the CC cream and a little bit of the Hydro Boost. So I wear the shade 40 in Hydro Boost and I wear the shade Porcelain in the CC cream. And I'm just gonna blend this in with my Smashbox blurring foundation brush. I feel like the colors of these two products would mix really well together because the CC cream is a little more on the yellow side and Hydro Boost is a little more neutral, I would say. And it does look like the colors are mixing really well. I feel like Neutrogena makeup in general is really good, in my opinion. Most of their products I feel like are really nice for drugstore products, and I feel like they do not get a whole lot of attention here on YouTube. Wow, okay, these two are blending together really, really beautifully. Look at that. Wow, such pretty coverage. Definitely adds a little bit of luminosity to that CC cream. I still have a good bit left on the back of my hand too. Gonna get a little bit and bring it down my neck as well, just so everything matches. Those two actually seem like a perfect color match for me right now. Oh my gosh, you guys, these two together, hopefully you can see on camera, but wow. The color is fantastic and the finish is so pretty. Oh my gosh. I love it when that happens. It's always kind of iffy when I decide to mix something in a video that I've never mixed before because you really don't know if things are going to work together or not. But those two, wow. This is like turning out really well, this makeup. Okay, so let's move on to concealer. I pulled out this one. This is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer. I haven't used this in a very long time. This is in the shade Wheat. I used to love this. Just gonna start with that. A little bit on my chin. And a little bit on my forehead. Okay, I'm just gonna blend the concealer on my face with my foundation brush, and then kind of want to use my sponge to blend in my concealer. Can you believe it? I'm not using the infamous Sigma F03 brush. Speaking of Sigma, you guys, I did order the Cinderella palette, the new Sigma collab. I'm so excited to get that. I ordered it a few days ago. Hopefully it won't take a long time to get here because I'm so excited to play with that palette. The colors in there just spoke to me in the biggest way, and I'm also a very, very big Disney, well, I'm a Disney fan in general. Me and my husband, we love Disney. But Cinderella is definitely my favorite princess. My husband and I actually got engaged at Disney, or in Disney World at Magic Kingdom. We were eating at Cinderella's castle. You can eat dinner there, and that is where we got engaged. So I love Cinderella, so I knew I had to have that palette. Anyway, there is that concealer. I'm gonna add just a tiny, tiny bit more. I'm gonna blend this in with the Sigma brush. I feel like when you get used to using a brush like this, it's very, very hard to use anything else. I like this brush because number one, it's so fluffy and just easy to blend with, but it also doesn't pick up too much of your product. That's the one thing with using a sponge. A lot of times I feel like it can just pick up a little too much product. Unless you're wanting to pick up extra product, then that can be a good thing, but sometimes I just like a brush. Okay, I'm gonna use a little bit of cream bronzer. I'll use my Milk one. This is the matte bronzer in the shade Baked. And speaking of this, I got an email randomly from Sephora that said that this was back in stock in the full size. So I know a lot of people were saying they weren't gonna make these in the full size anymore, but I just saw that a few days ago. So I don't know what's going on with this, but I hope they don't stop making it because this is a really, really good cream bronzer. So I'm gonna get some on my brush and just add a little bit of this to my cheeks here. I've tried using this by swiping it on and then trying to blend it, but I feel like I like how it looks a little bit better if I get the bronzer straight onto my brush. I just feel like it, I don't know, I like how it applies a little bit better this way. So I'm just tapping this on with my foundation brush. Okay, now I'm going to use my Milani Silky Matte Bronzer in the shade Sunlight. Yeah, Sunlight. This is number 1 in this bronzer, and this is another thing I'm really trying to focus on using up because I feel like I have pretty good dip in it and I really want to hit pan on it, so I'm trying to use it up or use it more, I guess. So I'm just kind of going over everywhere where I put that Milk bronzer. And for a blush, I pulled out this one. This is the Bare Minerals Gen Nude blush in the shade Let's Go Nude. This is so pretty. It's almost, it kind of looks like a bronzer, honestly. It's a very nude matte blush, but it's really pretty. I knew I was going to do a lot on my eyes, so I wanted to keep the blush pretty minimal. So I'm going to use this. I think this color is actually discontinued, but I want to use it because I do like it. So I'm just going to go over my cheeks with this. Same thing on this side. And I'll bring some across my nose too. The color of this kind of reminds me of the Buxom blush in Seychelles, but it doesn't have that glowy element to it that the Buxom blush does, but it's really nice. Okay, now I'm going to use a little bit of powder. This is Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless powder. I have a really big pan in this that I would also really love to use up. So I'm gonna put this on my forehead, down the side of my nose. And then I'm also going to just take a little bit of it under my blush and bronzer. That's something I've been doing a lot lately. I really like how it looks. And then I'm gonna put a little bit under my eyes. I'm gonna take my sponge quickly, make sure I don't have any little creases. And let's see, I've been really struggling lately with finding a good brush to use under my eyes if I apply powder. I feel like I just do not have a brush that's the size that I like. So I've been trying to use eyeshadow brushes, but I don't have one that I love. I'm gonna try this one. This is just a Sephora collection eyeshadow brush, and I'm just gonna lightly set under my eyes. Let's move back to the eyes for a minute. I'm gonna go back into the palette, and I'm first gonna go back into Joshua Tree, which is that taupey brown, and this little baby brush that they sent me. So this is the R101. It's just a tiny little pencil brush, which is also a really handy brush to have in your collection. So I'm just gonna run that on my bottom lash line. This is a perfect like pencil smudger brush for under your eyes. I'm gonna go into the palette again, and I'm gonna use the dark brown called Thunder. And I'm gonna do a little bit of this on my lash line. Well, I'm actually gonna start on my bottom lash line and kind of pull it up a bit. Gosh, that is a really good dark brown. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, okay, this is more of a dramatic wing than I was gonna go for, but oh well. Looks really pretty. That is a really nice matte brown. I'm using this, this is the Sephora number 22 brush. You guys, that brown, it's so pigmented, not patchy. I am so impressed with this palette. I'm gonna go back into the little pencil brush and kind of blend out this outer corner on the lower lash line. One last thing I'm gonna do on the eyes, I'm gonna take this roller liner from Benefit. This is the brown one, and I'm gonna do what I've been doing recently, which is kind of keeping my eye open and going in between my lashes with this pen instead of like actually trying to line my lash line with it. So then you kind of get that lash or that liner look. You get a little bit of definition, but you don't have to actually line your eye with this, because I'm not the best at that for sure. I just kind of went over my wings with this as well. I feel like I'm not as intimidated if I put shadow down first and then go over it with a liquid pencil or a liquid liner, but honestly I'm gonna stop because I don't want to mess anything up, because I absolutely love how the eye looks right now. One more thing I'm gonna do quickly is take this shade, this Glow shimmer shade, and I'm just gonna use my pinky finger and tap a little bit of that in the inner corner of my eye. And now let's move on to some mascara. Let's see, so I'll curl my lashes. This is my Surratt lash curler that I always use. Okay, and then for mascara, I'm going to use this one. This is the e.l.f. Lash It Loud mascara. I can't remember if I've used this in a video yet or not, but I've been using this and I like this mascara a lot. Do you guys remember, if you've been here for a while, you might, I at one time had an e.l.f. mascara that I was obsessed with. It was called the Keep Your Curl mascara, and it was almost identical to the Benefit Roller Lash mascara. And I used that for a long time. I loved it. It was one of my favorite mascaras ever, and I'm pretty sure they stopped making it because I've tried to link it in my videos a few times and I cannot find it anywhere. I haven't seen it in store or anything, so I'm guessing they don't make it anymore. But this one is also very good. It just doesn't have the curved wand like that one did, but this one is good too. Last for the lips, I'm not really sure what I want to do. I pulled out my MAC Stripdown lip liner. I kind of wanted to do something really nude on the lips since we did on the cheeks and we have a lot going on the eyes. So I think I'm going to take this and line my lips. Okay, and then for a lipstick, I think I might use MAC again. This is Honeylove. And I also randomly pulled out this. This is the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream. I've had this for a long time and I haven't used it, I don't think. But I feel like this is more of like a liquid lipstick, so I don't know. Feels nice. It's almost the exact same shade as Honeylove. Ooh, wow, it's very velvety. I like that. I kind of want to put just a little bit of a lip gloss on top. I don't know, maybe I should leave it matte. No, I'm going to take just a little bit of this. Just a tiny bit. This is just the Buxom Plump Shot. I'm just going to put this kind of in the center. And then I'll just set with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. And that is going to be it for this look in this video. You guys, I am shaken at this makeup look. I don't know what I like the most, but I have got to tell you, this eyeshadow palette, where is it? This from What's Up Beauty Desert Monsoon. Oh my gosh. This is so nice. I try a lot of eyeshadow palettes, but this, every color I used, I love. And look at this on my eyes. Like, seriously, so beautiful. This is phenomenal. I love this. I will definitely do another look with this and use the pinks and purples and maybe even this blue in here because this is so good. So good. And the brushes applied it so beautifully. Oh my gosh. So I will put everything, the link to this product and their brushes and everything else in my description box. This video is not sponsored. They just offered to send me these things. No obligation to post or anything. I wanted to try them and I'm so happy I did because I love this. Love this so much. And you guys, this foundation combination, this is so good. I mean, look at this glow on my face. It's glow, but it's not like too much glow. And I don't know, I thought the consistencies of these would mix well together, and they definitely do. You get coverage from this, you get hydration from this. This kind of tones down the coverage on this a little bit so it's not so matte. And it looks so nice. Oh my gosh. I mean, the bronzer and the nude blush, I'm obsessed. Even this lip combo I love. I think it would have been pretty too, even if I had left it matte, but I just love a good lip gloss. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of this eye look, because this, I gotta say, is one of my favorite looks I've done in quite a while. And let me know if you want me to keep playing with this and use some more of these colors in here. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I hope you'll subscribe if you haven't already. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair01. I'll see you in my next video. Remember, simply be you.